Let's get some analysis now with Yuri Levchenko, who's a former Ukrainian MP and the leader of the People's Power Party. He joins us now from Kiev. Good to have you back with us, Yuri. Do you believe this is a turning point in the conflict against Russia?
Well, to be honest, the turning point in the war came in March, when our courageous troops managed to beat back the Russians from around Kiev, and when we secured our capital. So that was the main turning point, from which we saw that our state will survive, and we will be able to fight on to recover all our lost territory. What happened over the last couple of days is the second. Let's call it the second turning point, or the continuation of the turning points, in that we have shown that we are able to recover a territory that has been lost a long time ago, half a year basically ago, and we have proven that the Ukrainian army is able to beat back the Russians, not just around Kiev, also in the east of Ukraine. Closer to the Russian supply lines, closer to the Russian border. And this is a very important signal. I mean, we've been saying it all along that we are able to do this, and all we need is more weapons from the collective West, the so-called collective West, more weapons, more support. And after these weapons started trickling in, still, I should say, too slowly, I'm sure, and they should move far quicker. But after these weapons started trickling in, especially the long-range HIMARS missile systems, then we were able to start beating the Russians back. First, stop them effectively on almost all of the front, apart from one little pocket in the Donetsk region, and then start beating them back.
Yes, and it does seem that the US is continuing to listen to those calls for more weapons. We're expecting Joe Biden to announce another package of military aid measures for Ukraine in the coming days. But do you believe Ukrainian forces can hold on to their current gains and indeed push the Russians further towards their border?
Yes, of course. I mean, we have been seeing excellent movement by our courageous armed forces and all of the defense forces of Ukraine, and this movement actually continues. I can't specify the details, but I'm aware of very good news which is about to come through from further east, from the Lugansk region as well. It continues, and we will be able to push on. What we are asking, as you have stated, the US and other countries are, of course, helping us with the relevant weaponry. But I would like to stress it for all our viewers: this is not coming in quickly enough, and not enough, generally speaking, in terms of absolute number. Especially considering the fact that the abilities there in the West are far greater than what they're actually giving us. They're able to give us far more than they're giving us. Yeah. So should the supply of weaponry continue, should this be continuous and without any stops, not sporadic, and should it be also growing in numbers? If it grows in numbers, then of course we will be able to retake all of our territory. It will be simply a matter of time. And apart from this, of course, I'd like to stress the importance of sanctions. Now, if you look at the Russian economy, and I myself, as an economist, graduated from the London School of Economics, I can say that the sanctions are very, very few and far between. They're not enough at all. I mean, the Russian economy has been able to stabilize itself and has been able to continue functioning relatively well, given the circumstances. Why? Well, because the sanctions haven't really targeted its main source of income, the hydrocarbons, gas, oil, and so on, in a relevant degree. And until this actually happens, until the sanctions are hugely increased, until Russia is turned off from the SWIFT system, the international finance SWIFT system, totally, and not just some of its banks as is currently, until the West finally creates a total embargo on travel by Russians to the West and isolates the Russian Federation completely, the Russian Federation will continue its war in Ukraine, even if it will be a losing war for them. But they will continue it until these sanctions are hugely increased. And just finishing, I'd just like to give an example. I mean, can you imagine, for example, people trading, the Allies trading with Nazi Germany in 1942, 1943? Or was it possible for citizens of Nazi Germany to freely go on tourist trips to, for example, Great Britain or
Yes.
the United States in 1943? No, this was impossible.
Okay.
So the rhetorical question, why is this possible for Russians right now?
Okay, Yuri Levchenko, we will have to leave it there, but we appreciate your analysis as always. Thank you very much.